Merry meet Pisces, Pisces sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Pisces starting today, the 12th of March, 2024. I'm reading, we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Heather. Moderating on Twitch is the lovely Delene. Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you so much, Delene. And thank you, Pisces and friends of Pisces, for joining us today for this 2-week reading. I am reading today with the Ancient Italian Tarot. I've already purified with Agua de Colonia Concentrada by Alvarez Gomez, and you can find links to purchase each of these products right in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. If you are watching on a restream on YouTube and you don't want to watch me shuffle, just use the timestamps right in the video description to fast forward right to that reading. And if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, please make sure you follow us on Twitch. You can watch on Twitch without ads when you subscribe to us there. We have a shop at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. Right now, that's a bunch of affiliate links. We make a small commission off of each and every sale, which means that that's an easy way for you to give the channel some support. However, we are upgrading that shop, so look for a brand new shop sometime in April. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga. If you're on YouTube, you could use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks if you feel like giving us a donation. We appreciate that support. Oh my goodness. I don't read with card reversals, so you'll see me flipping cards right side up. It's just my particular preferred style of reading. This reading does go out to a lot of people, a lot of Pisces, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you, just disregard it because it's probably just not meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your other signs, or remember that we have a general reading for all signs each and every day except for Monday. Usually we have a weekly pick a card reading, but I missed it this week just because I got too slammed at work. Sorry about that. But you can find the most recent readings for all the tarot readings right on the website, arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link in the main menu. All right, Pisces, this is pretty shuffle-led. So let me give this deck a nice clean cut, and we will see what's in the cards for all you gorgeous Pisces. All right, we start off with the Tower, followed by the 9 of Cups, and then the 2 of Swords. Great. So whatever you've let go of is bringing back your magnetism. You got the name of the game is Release is Magnetic. Release is magnetic. Sometimes that release can feel a bit violent, but it was necessary and it's over. But it's bringing you everything you want. So you're more magnetic to your good, having gotten rid of those things that were worn out. And so that's beautiful. And that's something that you should be very, happy about and proud of that you did that. What you want to do is keep your focus, because since you are so much more magnetic than you were, and it's not that you were more magnetic than you were, it's just that your magnetism is now free. So you've always been very magnetic, but now that magnetism is very free. It's like there was something standing in the way of the magnet before. Like I always use that image of silly putty. When you put silly putty on a magnet, it doesn't demagnetize the magnet. It just makes that magnetic field unavailable to whatever is out there. Well, you got rid of the silly putty, so good for you. So all that magnetism is like going wah, wah, really, really powerfully. So you want to stay very focused because you want to magnetize what you want. You don't want to go back into magnetizing what you don't want. So it's very important that you stay focused and you keep your mind clear and not allow yourself to wander off into mental wanderings about things that you don't want so much. Watch the conversations that you're having in your head and shut them down when they're conversations that you don't like. When you're imagining the worst, shut that down, because you don't need to imagine the worst. We don't want to be superstitious about our thinking, because it does take a lot of habitual thinking to make a difference, but you may as well just cut it off, because you are very magnetic. So cut off the mind from the wanderings into areas that you don't really want. And I think you are becoming much, I don't know about more, but very disciplined with your mind. I don't know how disciplined you've been, but it seems like disciplined enough to let go of things. But that mental discipline that you at least have found or are finding will serve you greatly. And I think that you are doing that, most of you. And if you're not, then now's the time maybe to get into some kind of meditational discipline. You might try even my magic minute if you don't have a meditation type process or practice that you use. I'm going to move this table a little bit because I think I'm hitting my camera stand, and that's why it keeps wobbling. All right, we've got another 9 here, this 9 of Swords. Looks like you've gotten rid of a lot of worry. And that's why you want to stay focused, so you don't go back into the worry habit. It seems like you've gotten rid of a lot of that habit of worry. The 5 of, and you also want to stop worrying about money. You don't want to worry about money right now. You want to, if you notice that you're worried about money, you don't want to suppress it. You acknowledge it, but then pivot. Just like, okay, well, I acknowledge that I'm worried about it. Or it might be worrying about health or some other kind of physical asset. I acknowledge that I'm worried about it, but now I'm going to create in my mind what I want, rather than perpetuating this worry. And then you can use your worry as a catalyst for coming up with what you want. And if you can do that, you're going to notice that this magnetism that is being uncovered in you starts to bring you more opportunities. Ooh, a lot of opportunities. Nice. See, it's like the opposite. It's like the polar opposite of what you're worried about is what shows up when you bring in the law of polarity in your favor. So what I mean by that is, when you notice that you're worried about something, you don't say, okay, I'm not going to worry about that, because then that just suppresses it. Right? And then it gives it more power. You don't want to secrete your worry. You want to acknowledge your worry and just say, okay, now since I can use my mind to worry, what's the opposite of that? What's the opposite of my fear? And when you start to flip the poles on it, just as a fun, easy mental exercise, you notice, whoa, look what I just brought in. Look at how fast that was. When I just flipped the poles on that, I got an actual demonstration of this in the physical, real world. And then, okay, I'm going to try that again. What else am I worried about? And you take that worry and you say, okay, I acknowledge this worry. You know, I'm not going to suppress this. I'm not going to pretend like it's not there. I acknowledge this worry. But since I can use my mind to worry, I can also use my mind for other creative ways. What's the polar opposite of what I'm worried about? Flip. And you just think about that for a while. And then that gets drawn in and you have a demonstration. And you say, well, this is a lot of fun. I'm going to keep that focus. I'm going to keep focusing on this. And I'm going to use my worries to my advantage in that way. You see, we're not anymore saying, oh, don't worry, don't worry. That's like saying, don't see the pink elephant. You don't want to say, don't worry. You just acknowledge your worry. You say, oh, yay, a worry. Now I get to do some transformation. What am I worried about? Oh, fun. I'm worried about being destitute. Okay, what's the polar opposite of that? And what would that look like? If I'm worried about destitution, what's the opposite of that? And how would that look? And how might that come about? And then you see yourself you imagine yourself, you just enjoy it. You just have a little play. And you're not worried about whether it manifests. You don't worry about any of that. I'm just playing with the law of polarity. You see yourself, making a lot of money, and you see yourself buying a new house, buying a new car, buying some new clothes, whatever it is. That's the opposite of being out in the cold and destitute. And then you get a check or something. And then it's something that you've proven to yourself that you do have the power to use the law of magnetism to your benefit. And that you can take whatever these worries were or are and transform them into something amazing. And just becomes a fun game, and you don't put a bunch of pressure on yourself. I have to manifest. I have to manifest. Don't do that. Just have a fun game, one little worry at a time. And then you sort of like, okay, well, now what's another worry? What else am I worried about? Yay. and it turns into this, this process of kind of cleaning out your mind and focusing your mind. And it's a beautiful thing. I love this. This is your only trump card in the whole reading, this Tower card. Isn't this wonderful? Now, don't worry about the guy that's fallen out of the tower and this person who's dead. Okay, this is not real people. Okay, these are not people. People represent thoughts. People represent ideas in the tarot, just like they do in the Psalms. They represent thought forms, and these are outmoded thought forms. Thought forms that were creating experiences that you didn't like, that might have been appropriate for you at one point. But like when you're a little kid and somebody tells you something, you just believe it. You don't know any better. And that's what's being expelled when this tower explodes, are those old ideas that you just believed and you forgot that you believed them. And then they've been churning and making you upset, making you worried, and you didn't even know why. And it's because of all of those old, outmoded ideas. Well, many of you have been working on yourselves in some way or another. Everybody's so different. Some of you have been in therapy. Some of you have been doing whatever you've been doing. And it's brought a bunch of stuff up. And now that stuff has been exploded, has been demolished, not in an attacking way, but in the way that in order to build a new house, you have to demolish the old one. You don't want to build a new house on an old house. That doesn't make sense. You got to demolish it. You got to clear out the rubble, and you got to, to start with a clean foundation, and then you build from there. And that's what you're doing when now I give you that little game on how to use your worries as a catalyst for building what you do want. Now you're building a beautiful home or a beautiful resort or whatever you want to, whatever image works for you on that old foundation, or maybe a whole new foundation even. Maybe the foundation was cracked and you had to get rid of that. And now all you had was this piece of land, and then you poured a new foundation, and now you're building a new structure on that. And that's wonderful. And that's what this 10 is all about, is all the new structures that are so gorgeous and fabulous and exactly what you deserve, and you're just taking it one little fear at a time, transforming those fears into wonderful things. Because sometimes the best way to figure out what you want to build in your life is by looking at what you're afraid of or what you don't like. And just saying, okay, well, let's flip the poles. Let's use the law of polarity, and we're gonna go to the other pole, and that's what we're gonna build. And boy, what a beautiful, beautiful reading. I love this. So you're doing great, Pisces. So magnetic, great work. Don't worry about your worries. Don't suppress the worries. Use the worries to transform, because things are being built on the old site. And it's going to be gorgeous. So just keep focused on what you want, and you're going to get there. No problem. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. And thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Delene and Heather. And we will see you in a couple weeks, Pisces. Much love and many, many blessings.